Hey everyone, hope you're all well. So a few days ago I made a video about this YouTuber called Loser Life. So he's put out a new video called Too Ugly and Autistic to Socialize. So I make videos about being a loser instead. So I did suspect there was some issues like that, and I'm actually on the autism spectrum myself. So I can relate. I've had a lot of issues growing up with lacking confidence, lacking self-esteem. People would kind of pick on me for it and stuff. So, but let's get into the video and see what he has to say.
Hey yo, what's up? So I wanted to talk about how I'm too unattractive and too ugly, too undesirable, too much of a loser to really socialize and really do anything in real life. So I just make YouTube videos as my form of socialization because I'm just too much of a shut-in, just of an undesirable male, right? We can label it with whatever word you want. Loser, you're like, oh, don't call yourself a loser. Was it an idiot, an ugly, an incel, whatever word you want. At the end of the day, that whatever word or phrase you use to describe me will at the end be synonymous with undesirable male. That's just the truth, right? There's no way around it, right? That's just how it is. It is what it is. It doesn't really offend me, or I don't really care, because it's not something you can really run away from, right? If you're born with suboptimal, subpar genetics, and women get to decide that, right? Because women are the ones who decide who they get to mate with, right? And they want to mate with, it doesn't even necessarily have to be mate, but just desire, right? Because they desire males who they see as genetically fit, right? That's just kind of the truth, right? It's like, you can't really pussyfoot your way around it, right? It's just the point blank truth, right? And so women get to decide that, right? They don't even decide themselves, right? It's just subconscious, right? They just know. It's like those things, like, when you see it, right? It's like, even if they are not able to really describe it, right? Or they're not self-aware enough to really describe it, they'll know it when they see it, right? They'll know an attractive, desirable male when they see one, right? And, if you're like me, if you're a loser, or whatever word you want to use to describe yourself, we can say if you're a Chad, and we can just change the definition of that to be synonymous with loser or undesirable male, right? Doesn't matter the word you use, but at the end of the day, it's synonymous with undesirable male. So if you're like that, if you're a loser, then you're not being chosen, right? You already know that, right? You've spent your life rejected, undesired, isolated, ostracized by women, and sometimes not just women, sometimes by other males too, right? Just by society in general, right? You're always ostracized, pushed to the side. No one cares about you. You're always...
So, like I said in the last video, that I don't think it's his looks that are the problem here. Like, being autistic is probably going to be a big factor in this. That when you are autistic, it can affect how you come across to people. Like, it can make you seem awkward, and you can feel anxious in situations, which then can turn a lot of women off. And so, yeah, it is possible to work around these things. It just takes time to learn to accept yourself. And I don't know if this guy really, maybe, because it sounds like he doesn't actually have great confidence in himself. It's like if he's not getting external validation, then it's like kind of is feeling kind of like insecure or something, and therefore not take the chance to actually go out and try to meet people because of bad experiences. But just because you've had bad experiences in the past doesn't mean that that's going to be always the case. So it seems like this guy's just kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it's a cop out, but it's like he's just saying, oh, well, they won't accept me because of my looks and my genetics. But there's people with arguably worse genetics out there that they're doing just fine. It's just you might have to learn how to deal with certain situations, like how to just be able to be, not even be like popular, but just be able to fit in with a group of people. But then, I mean, you don't have to fit in with everybody, but to try and find your tribe of people with certain interests that you have, like they might be into, I don't know, whatever genre of thing that you're into, and you can just bond over that. It's just, I think this guy's just like too much in his own head, and that can definitely be an issue for like autistic people. And I've had that issue a lot before, where I would just overthink things and then just end up sabotaging things in different ways with different people, with like whether it's an opportunity for something or whatever, and then I just end up talking myself out of it. And yeah. Anyway, let's carry on.
Always an afterthought, right? You're never someone's priority, unless it's someone, unless it's deceitful, right? To get something out of you, to take advantage of you, right? But like true, genuine desire, that doesn't happen to you, right? So you end up, what is it? I guess you end up either going crazy or just making YouTube videos about being a loser on the internet, right? Because it's really the only form of socialization I really have.
Is it just because it's like safer to do that, perhaps because dealing with people in the real world is maybe makes you feel anxious, and that's something that you might need to work on? I don't know. I mean, he was talking about therapy and all that, and I kind of agree that a lot of times it can be a bit of a scam, and but maybe it's like the best way to approach your issues is about like kind of learning to build that self-confidence and just kind of get these ideas out your head about being unattractive, because there's a thing called psycho-cybernetics, a book that goes into this stuff. So they were saying that it was a 3 out of 10 and that is undesirable, but I don't see anything wrong with how this guy looks. I mean, I see some women that guys that look worse than this guy, and I'm like, what are they doing with this guy? Now you could argue that there's something else going on there, but it's like they're not always, it's like go for the guys that you would think of as like chads. There's a lot of normie guys, and even a lot of even just like below average looking guys out there that are doing well. The short guys, all type of guys you can think of that are doing well or dating. It's just that they believe in themselves, they have that confidence, and that's something you have to build. You have to go out there as though that you already are like a Chad or something. Go out with that kind of energy and see what kind of reaction you get. Just try it, maybe. Just try and see if going out and just acting like, just think of yourself the way that you want to be perceived. I want to be perceived as the man. And then, just have that in your head that that's what you are. And just instead of thinking of yourself as a loser and a undesirable man. That is really off-putting to women. Anyway, let's carry on.
Have, right? Because some days, I guess, I probably will spend less than, for sure. I think it has to be for sure, like maybe less than 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes seems kind of like a big stretch. Less than, it's probably less than 5 minutes, maybe more like 3 minutes or less, right? But we'll call it five, of just actually interacting and speaking with other people, right? So most of the day, I'm just, you know, stuck in my head, right? Just thinking and talking and was it reflecting and all that stuff. So as a way to interact with other people, since I can't interact with other people in real life because there is no one to, then yeah, I just make videos on the internet for YouTube, right? Because what else are you gonna do, right? If you are so socially isolated and you really have no one else to speak to, where you're at the point where it's like, hey, if I don't talk to myself or if I don't talk to this camera, I'm not getting any interaction. I guess that's other people have other outlets, like they'll use like internet forums, right? And
Well, you need to maybe go out and work those social muscles, because doing it online ain't gonna cut it, I don't think. Going out there and actually meeting people and then actually working on your confidence and all that kind of stuff, and just finding the right people that will support you, to help you, to give you good advice, to help to reassure you, and then you could go out together. Maybe you can get some woman, maybe get yourself a wingman or something, and just, yeah, as long as it's not just someone that's gonna stab you in the back and just take it all for himself, but yeah, you want to just be around good people who'll have your back. I think there's good people out there, you just have to find them. And it's just I don't think going on these forums and just in these echo chambers is necessarily going to be helping you. It's probably going to be setting you back, if anything. So let's continue.
Because well, I guess they could use social media, but I feel like social media, like interacting with people on social media, is kind of almost. I guess it's kind of similar to this, but the thing is, I like if you use like, I don't, what is it, like, what do normies use as social media? Because I don't use social media. I just have YouTube, and I have an Instagram just because YouTube doesn't have direct messages, but I don't actually use Instagram. So I guess, but people probably interact on Instagram, right? Maybe they'll just like message each other, right, or whatever. So I feel like that isn't as social reject as, or degenerate as posting on anonymous internet forums. So I feel like that's more of a true, was it neckbeard kind of thing? Because, at the end of the day, I'm just a neckbeard, right? I'm just a loser Reddit neckbeard who got banned off of Reddit too many times for just speaking the truth, right? Just making the points that I make here. I got banned off of Am I Ugly, Rate Me subreddit, the Forever Alone one, and those are like really the only ones I posted. I remember I had a really fun good time posting on the Am I Ugly one, either posting my own or
I would just say stay away from these places.
Like because they just don't like if you tell them, hey man, you have a really bad eye area, and you just got to do other stuff to compensate for it, right? Because you can't actually change your eye area.
I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, you see people out there that just have far worse features, like, and they're doing fine in life. So I don't know what why you think it's so bad. I mean, I don't know. It's just like I said, you looking so like deep into your looks and understand the autism thing where you would overanalyze all these details and stuff that a lot of people wouldn't even really notice that much. They just kind of, when it comes to like attraction, looks do matter to some degree, but it's your overall aura that really is gonna matter the most. And yeah, you don't seem to have like the best aura, I guess, like in terms of your confidence, your swagger, and all that. So maybe you need to work on that. Let's carry on.
You can't change your canthal tilt, right? Or if you have like really protruding bug eyes or whatever, right? You can't change that. It just is what it is. But yeah, it was fun. You know, you got to interact with people, and even though I got banned, what is it? You know, it was kind of fun. You know, I had to just make several different new accounts because you know that's just how it is. But yeah, it was fun. You know, just having people just say, "Oh, it's too mean," blah blah blah. But I mean, like again, like they do on here, right? People just always try to attack me, right? That's kind of funny, right? They try to attack me. Never really the points, right? They don't. They just say, "Oh, you have a negative mindset, bro." But it's like, why don't you actually tell me how I'm wrong about some point I'm making, right? Tell me how I'm wrong about women wanting to choose to be with high value, desirable, good genetic males, and how they dislike a low tier genetic trash like me, right? It proved.
I remember like the first time I actually got with someone, and I was just so scruffy, like I had this scruffy long hair, and it was just I wasn't working on myself whatsoever. I was just a complete mess. I had this kind of beard, just random hairs growing out of it, and just so scruffy. And somehow we managed to hit it off. I mean, the thing is, it didn't last very long because of my own issues in my head, and a lot of that was the autism. So, from my own experience, it's if you're in your own head a lot and you're just overthinking things, then it's gonna end up leading nowhere because you're just gonna end up messing it up at some point. So yeah, but she obviously saw something in me, even though I wasn't the best at the time, and then arguably I've gotten a lot better looking now because. So it shows that even then I was like able to get somebody that they saw something in me, even though at the time I wasn't arguably very good looking, and I actually even had like a worse looking jawline. I was looking back at an old photo where I was like my jaw was just all kind of not very sharp, and I've actually been working on that since then. It was kind of I got into the mewing thing like a few years ago, and I wasn't really doing it for the jawline benefit. I was just doing it more for the general health benefits of it, and yeah, but yeah, like before all that, and it was like just not really that attractive. Like I would say, and I was, yeah, I got this girl. She was like fairly decently looking, and yeah, it was just unfortunately I really screwed things up, and yeah, so I would say that it's more probably your autism that is probably what's been holding you back, and you just want to work on that really, and that's something I've been trying to work on with confidence and just try to accept myself for who I am, and it can be difficult when you've got this mindset and be like, oh well, I've got all these problems, I'm never gonna get anyone, and you overthink it, and it's like just I don't know. Thing is, I'm not into like drinking alcohol and stuff, so some people say I should do that to try and loosen up, but I just don't really agree with that stuff. But some people might find that helps them, but you gotta try and find a way to help you to kind of get out of your head. Maybe, I don't know if meditation might help. Some people can get help from that. Just try to kind of learn to accept yourself. Maybe do some positive affirmations and stuff to try and subconsciously reprogram your mind so that you think more positively about yourself. Because like I said, there is ugly guys, there's unattractive guys out there who get women. Yeah, they might not be the most attractive women. Like, they might get with some average to below average looking woman, but you know, like, what do you expect? Will you be happy with an unattractive woman? Or does she have to be like a Stacy? Is it, you know, this is the thing, is that some of these guys might have standards themselves. I don't know, I'm just wondering, like, yeah, so let's continue.
Prove me wrong on that. I'd actually love it, right? I'd love it if, you know, women decided to, hey, I love genetic trash. I want to be with you and me. But, you know, that's obviously not the case, right? I'm sure plenty of guys would actually like that, right? Because, you know, the sad truth is, right, most males are genetic trash, unfortunately, right? That's just like in the animal kingdom, right? You know how those walruses, what is it, like one walrus gets like a whole group of females, right? So like every other walrus is basically genetic trash to all those female walruses, right? That's it. I mean, it's almost kind of this. Maybe it's not as exaggerated for humans, but you know, it's the same idea, the same concept, the same principle applies. It's just brutal, but you know, what can you do about it, right? Nothing. It's just part of the subhuman life. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's fun being able to interact with people, right? Because you know, it's not. I guess it's not really interacting in the comment, or just just seeing, yeah, just that, or yeah, just seeing views and comments, right? Because you know, like I said, this is really kind of probably the only kind of social interaction I get on a consistent social interaction I get on a daily basis. I may get, I don't know, some surprise, old person, some surprise, yeah, old guy just talking to me about Jesus, right? That's really the only other extent. The only other time I get a long conversation with someone maybe in real life, some random, unsuspecting old guy will come and talk to me about.
Yeah, I had that the other year, some random guy, and he was making it out like it was some kind of, it's not a coincidence that this happened, that, you know, that you was, you know, I said, yeah, those people are just like, oh, goodness. Let's continue.
About Jesus. That's the only other time, right? No one else. Or maybe just some, I don't know, work-related thing for like maybe 5 minutes, right? At most. Yeah, it's really not much. YouTube, Lose Your Life video comments are probably the main source of conversation I have, because, you know, if I don't talk to the camera, I have to talk to my dog or myself, or just stay in my thoughts, right? I just kind of just stay in my thoughts most of the time, or just talk to the dog and, you know, say, what are you doing? Get over here. And all that stuff, because, you know, yeah.
Alright, so that's the video. So I think what I'd say is, yeah, probably get out more and talk to people is going to be the best way to do it. If you want to just meet people in general, like, just, there's nothing to lose. Like, just maybe go out and find things that you're interested in, meet people through that, and then you might meet a woman through that. You have more success doing that than, say, like on dating apps or anything, or even just cold approach. Like, if you do it in a, you know, through like mutual friends and stuff like that, that can sort of work. Yeah, so like, someone's friends with somebody else, like that you're friends with, and it's just that's how it happens. They're single, you're single, and then you just kind of start talking. But you have a chance to sort of like show who you are. But having sort of like at least like a few friends can help, because if you're seen as someone who's like kind of social, then that can help to kind of make you seem kind of more cool, and like you've got something to offer. You have to focus also on what you're offering to people, like what you got to focus on. Have you got any stories to tell to people? And this is something that you're going to build up over time. Just kind of build memories, things that you can share with other people. You can have a laugh with each other, and then through that, then you're just going to be seen like a cool guy who people want to be around. And then a woman can just randomly come into your life when you're not expecting it. They say it happens when you're not expecting it, but I think just getting yourself out there is a good idea. Just to, because you're never going to find anything just by sitting there. I personally am not really too bothered right now about going out and meeting anybody. I'm just kind of doing my own thing right now, and I could get someone if I really wanted to. I've learned to just accept myself and just focus on what makes me happy, and it's just you have to be able to do that and just learn to accept yourself, whether you get with someone or not. Just don't let them determine your value as a guy, that just because they don't want you, that doesn't mean you're not worth anything. But yeah, trying to get out there, socialize, learn to understand like social cues and things like that. Learn how to, just don't be rude. Like, listen when and when someone else is talking. Only talk when no one else is talking. Things like that. Just to keep these things in mind. Just try to just be careful, like not saying something too controversial that could offend people, especially if you don't know them, because you don't know what their tolerances are and things. So it's just get the basics down, and just get out there and meet people. Like, if you really want to meet people, just do it. What is stopping you? There's nothing stopping you. I'm sure you could get somebody if you really worked on it. If that's what your goal is, then yeah. But try not to be so desperate, and just good luck to you. But yeah, I really do hope that you get somebody, but because it's but at the same time, you shouldn't need anybody else to make you happy. I know it's kind of cliche and easier said than done, but just try and go out and have some fun experiences. And yeah, there's more to life than getting a woman. You shouldn't be putting it on a pedestal. That's what I've learned to do. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just work on the autism, work on the social skills. I think be around the right people who are supportive, who will help you. Yeah, I know it's difficult out there now. I do agree that there is, it's become difficult with like dating apps, social media, giving a lot of women this kind of ego boost, making them think that they're queens and all this stuff, making them think they're tens, and when they're really just mid, a lot of them. But the right one isn't going to be one that's on social media all the time. She's going to be someone a bit more reserved, maybe someone who isn't so just kind of putting herself out there everywhere for every guy to see. So yeah. Anyway, maybe just try and get to some groups and stuff where you can meet like-minded people. So anyway, take care everybody. I'll see you all soon. Bye.